You'd be a perfect crook. You know who's a perfect crook? Danny Ocean from the Ocean movies. DB Cooper. Honestly, I have a pet theory about DB Cooper. I think that he fell in, like, as he jumped from the plane, his parachute malfunctioned. And then, like, right as he was about to make impact with the earth, a sinkhole opened up and he fell into the core of the earth. And that's why, like, the body and the money were never discovered. But I think that he was not a good criminal. He didn't get away with it. He died in a sinkhole accident right after he stole it. What's your evidence? Occam's razor. Simply the only thing that makes sense when you consider all the available evidence. Does that answer your question? You know how, like, whenever you see a movie where they have, like, a robbery or something like that, they're always like, give me unmarked, non-sequential federal bills or whatever? Who's got the time for that? Seems crazy to me. The FBI would be there, like, looking up, they'd be looking at the serial number of every bill. What's the serial number? Isn't that like 16 characters long? It's a lot of work. Put all the slurp juice in a brown bag right now. That's how they catch bank robbers all the time. I think mostly they catch them because they end up saying something like, "You'll never catch me alive, you copper." And then they always make one mistake, right? Like they always, like, because the way I see it, there's always one guy, maybe he's like a former junior player. He was really on his way to the NHL, but then he got hurt, unfortunately, in the draft combine. And he's like straight laced and he's like, we're going to do this shit by the book. Okay. But then there's like one guy, he's more of like a Jeremy Renner type, who's like, my book is called How to Fuck Shit Up and Make Impulsive Decisions Badly. And they're always like, they're in the van on the way to the bank. And then the one guy's like, just remember the number one rule. We don't fire our guns. The guns are just for intimidation. And then Jeremy Renner goes in and is like, what are you looking at? Bang, bang. And he shoots like a security guard that's one day away from retirement. And then it's that hubris and not adhering to the code of Ben Affleck that leads to their downfall later. I don't think it has anything to do with like sequential numberings on bills. That sounds ridiculous. Also, yeah, always carrying around those big sacks with the dollar signs on them. What were they thinking? Who made these? Well, okay, you're right. That's not the only way it could go down. You're absolutely right. There's also some situations where you've spent your entire career being incredibly professional and never letting personal disputes get in the way of your higher order concerns, which are your own safety and anonymity as a robber. But then just deciding that Waingro is actually the literal devil and you have to put him down because otherwise he's a loose end that'll haunt you for the rest of your life. And then, of course, on your way out of the hotel, that's where you realize that Al Pacino was there the whole time. And it's a whole, I don't want to spoil the whole movie necessarily, but